Okay, this is our final adventure in Milestone 1. We're going to create an xubuntu system. We're going to drop it on the 480 WAN. We're going to route through our firewall to the internet, and then we'll take a proof of that. I hope you're capturing your tech journal, because part of this proof is to show me your journal, right? Show me and Adam your journal. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to go to VMs. We'll create a new VM. Uh, we'll call it xubuntu WAN. We'll make it a 7.0 virtual machine. It's going to be Linux, and I would just pick Ubuntu 64. That's the way to do it. Next, we'll drop it on whichever data store you prefer, right? This becomes important, by the way, when you have multiple ESXi servers. The placement, the data store. Typically, you're going to put some of this stuff on a centralized data store. But that's a topic in our enterprise virtualization course. So if you're interested in that, take that course. All right, we're gonna jack up the CPU. Let's go ahead and go with 3 gig for RAM. You might even go more depending on, once we get into Ansible, you'll probably move that up to 3 or 5 gigabytes depending on what you have available to you. Uh, Hard disk, let's make that bigger. 30 gigs, and we'll make sure it's thin, right? The network adapter, we're going to put it on VM network because we want to update, right? We want to update our installation, right, to the latest packages available to you on Ubuntu. Data store ISO file, so you should have already copied this up. In my case, it's on data store 2. There's my xubuntu box. And you're going to want to make sure that it is connected on power on, and it appears to be so. Now, let me double check that I did then. Yes. All right, that looks good to me. To spin this up, now I'm not gonna march you through this installation. I'm gonna pause my video. Install xubuntu default. Give yourself a generic like champ user, uh, username and password, right? Just like we did for ViOS, and we'll change it later. When we start moving this thing into production, right? So get to your install, and I will see you after you've installed the system. So go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Just a quick note, I'm picking the minimal installation. I don't necessarily need open office in a VM. Okay, back again. So I've done the install, and interestingly enough, the latest Ubuntu Xubuntu ISOs appear to have VMware tools installed in them. We're going to run a post installation script to sort of genericize the xubuntu to a state that we can create clones without difficulty. One of the issues I've seen before is it's not necessarily the MAC address, but rather it's the unique DHCP ID, which is used in some newer operating systems that is duplicated across your clones, and it ends up, if you fire up 2 Linux boxes on the same network, same DHCP server, they'll end up with the same IP address, which is not good. So let me go ahead and log in. I'm in, and this script is linked in the resources for the milestone. You can take this, adjust it the way you see fit. So a couple things I'm doing is I'm installing OpenSSH server, and I'm making sure that any old SSH keys are removed, or host keys are removed. I'm also making sure that some of those MAC addresses are not captured in UDEV. What else am I doing? I'm echoing out xubuntu or Ubuntu, the host name. It's already named that, so that's fine. I'm cleaning out apt. What else? I'm turning off updates, and then here's where I truncate the machine ID. Also up here, I install Chrome and give you the ability to launch Chrome Remote Desktop, because this may be how you get into your system for the rest of the semester. Okay, let's pull that script down. So okay, and I'll just grab that. Okay, I have a copy paste issue. So let's. Oh, I see what's going on. I could SSH in, I guess, but I don't want to. Um, let's open up a web browser. Source, scripts, desktop, raw. And this will take a minute or two to run. Yeah, I'll pause my video. Okay, the script is done. So I'm just going to remove some of this stuff that was left over. And then shut down -H. Now, we don't need this anymore. So we need to edit the settings. We're going to remove that CD-ROM. We'll give it a minute before we try to grab a snapshot. I had to wait a little bit last time. There we go. Take a snapshot. We'll call this one base. Now, once that snapshot's taken, we can rehost this xubuntu box on 480 WAN. That's what we'll do. So let's edit the settings. And we'll switch to 480 WAN, save it off, and turn it on. Okay, so while this is coming up, we have a default champ user. These are the steps you're going to want to go through. You're going to log in as that champ user. You're going to add a new pseudo user, a named user, right? you're going to log out and log in as that new user. You're going to blow away the champ user. That way we have a secure installation in which to go on board with xubuntu. Later, we can extract that generic base snapshot into its own VM, so we can reuse it. All right, so I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back, and I'll show you the proofs. Okay, back again. So I've rebooted. I'm in as Hermione. I am a pseudo user. I don't have a champ user anymore. So you notice that we're having issues connecting here. We got the spinning wheel of death. So what we're going to need to do is add a static IP address for this box. Remember, we switched to 4D WAN and have it communicate out via 10.0.17.2 as both the gateway and the DNS server. So let's make that happen. So we'll go to manual 10.0.17.100. It's a 24-bit mask. 10.0.17.2, and the DNS server is going to be 10.0.17.2, and we're gonna do 40.local. And let's see. I think it's lying. I think we're connected. Well, let's see what our IP address is. Yeah. Okay. So so right now we're in the proof video, right? So type ID. We've got a named user, right? So I have Hermione. My host name is off, so let me fix that. Host name CTL sudo host name CTL set host name 480, or I think we want to call it xubuntu. Why not? Okay, so I'm going to have you type host name. Then I'm going to have you type IPA. So we have a 10.0.17 address. I'll have you browse to champlain.edu using whatever web browser you want. Remember, we installed Chrome, right? Champlain.edu. Okay, that worked. And the last part of the proof is we're going to do a trace path. So trace path, and this will work, right? If you get to champlain.edu, this is going to work, but it's going to illustrate the path you take, at least from an IP perspective, to get out the door. Okay, so check it out. We went through 10.0.17.2. We went through the class gateway, and then there's another gateway up at the 9 network. I don't know much about that, but we get out through 9.254, and then a bunch of hops, right? So we limit it to 4. So that's it. This is the work you do for the next 2 weeks. At the end of the 2 weeks, you should produce something like that. You also need to show me your tech journal. So I'm going to be posting my tech journal. Let me show you where it is. 40, excuse me. Mainly it's under here. Actually, I lied. It's greenmountaincyber.com. Mainly it's under here, under topics, right? So here's my vCenter, excuse me, my installation for ESXi. I show how to do that. I show how to create a USB key. So essentially my documentation is gonna be online. But you're gonna want something similar. Although you can use a private GitHub wiki. Remember, your deliverable to Adam and I is just really a video that shows, one, your proof, and two, the technical articles that you authored to make this happen. Well, I hope you have fun during this milestone, and you'll see me again or Adam for milestone 2. Goodbye.